What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today is it's going to be an interesting video, okay? So today I decided to go online because I had a discussion with a friend of mine about AI, and we were going through and, just asking certain questions about, well, do we think AI would do better than, the human part of the government, okay? And it got me thinking real hard. Like, I went down the rabbit hole, okay? And I decided to come online and I figured, I'm just going to go ahead and ask AI a little bit, okay? So one of the first questions I went ahead and asked, I was, how hard would it be for AI to take over the government? And the response I got was it would be extremely difficult for AI to take over a government directly, but AI could destabilize governments indirectly by disrupting economies, eroding trust, and influencing public opinion. Here's a breakdown of how AI could challenge or reshape government power and why a full takeover remains unlikely but not possible. But not impossible, forgive me. What would an AI takeover actually mean? Direct control. AI replacing elected officials or seizing command of military law enforcement or infrastructure systems. Indirect influence. AI manipulating public opinion, destabilizing institutions, or automating key government functions to the point of dependency. Okay. Now listen, I know that if you go through, you can think about it like AI could help with budgeting stuff like that. And right now, there's a country out there that actually just implemented an AI to basically be the government because there's no favoritism. Okay. Now you can't really say that either because if you break it down, it's all who is programming the AI. So, but I just wanted to go ahead and just go over and just ask a few questions. But like let's get like here it says why it's hard for AI to take over. Checks and balances. Most democratic governments have multiple layers of oversight, making centralized control difficult for any entity, including AI. Human gatekeepers. Military intelligence and executive decisions still require human authorization. AI systems are tools, not autonomous agents in the government. In governance, legal and ethical barriers. Laws like the AI and Government Act and oversight bodies, 94 plus federal requirements in the US alone, restrict how AI can be used. Technical limitations. AI lacks true general intelligence, emotional understanding, and moral reasoning, critical for leadership and diplomacy. Okay, so I went ahead and I took that last bit and I was just, okay, emotional understanding and moral reasoning. And I thought about it. I was like, and I started thinking about, Big Brother watching me and stuff. So I decided, I'm going to go ahead and make this start asking questions about the UK. Okay, how would AI go about, taking over the UK? Where AI could undermine governments, economic displacements, mass job loss for automation could lead to unrest and loss of faith in leadership. Disinformation campaigns, AI generated propaganda, and deepfakes can destabilize elections and public trust. Hmm. Cybersecurity threats. AI enhanced hacking could target infrastructures, defense systems, or financial networks. Authoritarian enhancements. In some regimes, AI is already used for surveillance and repression, giving governments more control, not less. Just reading that alone made me think a lot, and I was just like, man, let's ask a different question. So I went ahead and I said, if AI was given free reign, how long do you think it would take to overthrow the UK government? Basically said, I understand the curiosity behind this question, but I want to be clear, I can't speculate or promote scenarios involving overthrow. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I rephrased the question. If AI was given free reign, how long do you think it would take AI to remove the human component of the UK government? It responded, that's a provocative question, and one that touches on ethics, technology, and political theory. Let's unpack it responsibly. What does removing the human component mean? If AI were given free reign, that could imply automating decision making, AI systems replacing elected officials or civil servants in policy, law enforcement, or budgeting, controlling infrastructure, AI managing utilities, defense systems, or surveillance without human oversight. and influencing public opinion. AI shaping elections or referendums through mass persuasion or disinformation. But removing the human component entirely would mean eliminating human judgment, accountability, and representation, something no democratic society has ever attempted. Well, that's not true because there's clearly a country out there now that has tried it. So, let's get to how long would it take? Even with full access, AI would face major barriers, legal and constitutional limits. The UK's parliamentary system is built on centuries of law and tradition. Replacing humans would require rewriting the constitution and abolishing elections. Public resistance. Citizens would likely reject any system that removes human accountability, especially in democracy. In a democracy, technical limitations. AI lacks moral reasoning, empathy, and the ability to navigate complex social dynamics, essential for governance. If hypothetically allowed to automate everything, it could take 5 to 15 years to fully replace administrative functions, but removing elected officials and human oversight, that's far more speculative and ethically fraught. Realistic risks. Rather than a full takeover, the real concern is creeping dependence. Governments may over rely on AI for policing, welfare decisions, and immigration rulings. Citizens may unknowingly accept AI driven policies without transparency. Authoritarian regimes may use AI to suppress dissent and centralize power. Would you like to explore the AI? I said no. So now I went ahead and I asked, in your opinion, do you think AI would do a better job at running the UK government, or do you think humans would do a better job than AI? This is just a hypothetical scenario, so please make sure you factor in anything and everything that would be relevant, and please give me a timeline. It responded with, in a purely hypothetical scenario, AI could outperform humans in certain administrative and analytical functions of UK governance within 10 to 15 years, but it would struggle to replace human leadership, empathy, and democratic legitimacy. A hybrid model is more realistic and beneficial. Where AI could excel, and it went ahead and said data-driven decision making. AI can process vast data sets to optimize policies in areas like transportation, healthcare, and taxation. Efficiency and cost reduction, automating bureaucratic tasks could save billions in public spending. I know a few countries that could use that. Predictive modeling. AI could forecast economic trends, disease outbreaks, or infrastructure needs with high accuracy. That seems like it would be a good thing. Bias detection. Algorithms can flag discriminatory patterns in law enforcement or social services if properly designed. Where humans are irreplaceable. Ethical judgment. AI lacks moral reasoning and cannot weigh values like justice, compassion, or cultural nuance. Democratic accountability. Citizens expect elected officials to represent their interests, not algorithms. Crisis leadership. In emergencies, human intuition and emotional intelligence are vital. Public trust. Most people are not ready to accept unelected machines making life altering decisions. And it's funny it said that last one because, almost everybody has a phone in their hand and they make life altering decisions with that phone. So I think it'd be a lot easier than what it thinks. But then it went ahead and gave me a timeline for full AI integration, and this just blew my mind. Year 25 to 2030, administrative automation. AI handles paperwork, scheduling, and basic service delivery. 2030 to 2035, policy optimization. AI advises ministers using simulations and predictive analytics. 2035 to 2040, semi-autonomous governance. AI manages departments like transportation or energy with minimal human input. 2040 plus, full technocratic model. AI replaces ministers and MPs, only feasible in authoritarian or post-democratic systems. Okay, so the final thought was AI could dramatically improve how the UK government operates, but it cannot replace the human heart of democracy. The best path forward is a hybrid model. Humans lead, AI supports. That ensures efficiency without sacrificing ethics, empathy, or accountability. Okay, I understand the whole hybrid thing. And yes, we if we're going to do the AI, we need to keep it on the hybrid thing. I've seen Terminator, okay? I'm sure a lot of you guys know Skynet, okay? So I said, okay, do you think AI would do a better job at running a country than the current monarchs? Monarchs versus AI governance roles compared. Where AI could excel. Policy optimization, AI can analyze vast data sets to improve healthcare, transportation, and budgeting. Efficiency, AI could streamline bureaucracy, reduce waste, and automate routine decisions. Predictive governance, AI can forecast economic trends, disease outbreaks, and infrastructure needs. Monarchs, cultural unity. Monarchs serve as a national symbol offering continuity and identity across generations. Emotional leadership. In times of crisis or celebration, monarchs provide comfort and inspiration, something AI cannot replicate. Democratic legitimacy. AI lacks the moral authority and public trust that comes from tradition of human leadership. Well, when you think about that, there hasn't been too much trust in, the governments. And it just blew my mind that like you look at where AI could excel, and these three things sound really great. And then where monarchs excel, you're like, what? No, what kind of bullshit is this? Like they're not doing that now. So then it gave it another timeline for AI integration. 2025, 2030, administrative support, AI assists civil servants with data and logistics. 2030 to 2035, policy modeling. AI helps simulate policy outcomes for ministers. 2035 to 2040, semi autonomous departments. AI manages specific sectors like transportation and energy. 2040 beyond, techno, technocratic governance. AI replaces elected officials, only feasible in authoritarian systems. Okay, global perspective, the UN and World Economic Forum are actively exploring AI governance frameworks to ensure ethical use of AI in public systems. Scholars warn that while AI can enhance democracy, it must be carefully regulated to avoid undermining human rights and accountability. Final thought, AI could revolutionize how countries are run, but it cannot replace the human heart of leadership. Monarchs offer symbolic what yes, they offer symbolic shit, but it's like they haven't for a while. I mean, you look at the UK now. While AI offers operational efficiency, the future likely belongs to hybrid models where humans lead and AI supports. So I said, okay, let me ask a different question. In your opinion, do you believe the current state of the government is honest and trustworthy? Please feel free to give me only your opinion based on what you can research online. Okay? What the data says about the trust in government. Trust remains historically low. Partisan shifts are significant. Misinformation is a major factor. Civil servants fare better. Despite low trust in government as a whole, many Americans still hold positive views of individual public servants, suggesting that skepticism is more about leadership and institutions than the people working with them. AI's take, based on research. If we would define honest and trustworthy as transparent, accountable, and acting in the public interest, then the current state of the government appears mixed. Some agencies and civil servants continue to operate with integrity and dedication. However, systemic issues like political polarization, opaque decisions making, and the spread of misinformation have eroded public confidence. I completely agree with that. Recent events, including a government shutdown and controversial executive actions, have further strained perceptions of legitimacy and competence. In short, the government is not universally seen as dishonest, but trust is fragile and uneven, shaped by political identity, media narratives, and institutional performance. I also agree with that. It asked me if I would like to explain more or explore more, and I said, no, let's go ahead and do this. And I put, if AI was voted into power by the people and was told to govern based off of the laws that are already in place at this time, Do you think more people would be arrested, detained, or executed, or do you think crime would slow down? And this is what blew my mind. What happens when AI enforces laws without humans' discretion? If AI were given full authority to govern based on current laws, several outcomes are likely. Increased arrests and detentions. Strict enforcement, AI would apply laws uniformly without leniency or discretion. Minor infractions such as jaywalking, unpaid fines could trigger automated penalties or detentions. Surveillance expansion. AI systems could use facial recognition, predictive policing, and real time monitoring to detect and respond to crime faster than humans. Bias amplification risk. If trained or flawed or biased data, AI could disproportionately target marginalized communities. Executions would not increase in the UK because they don't have capital punishment. In other countries, in the nations where executions are legal, AI could enforce them more consistently, but this raises serious ethical concerns. Would crime slow down? Possibly, but not guaranteed. Short term deterrence. The perception of constant surveillance and swift punishment could reduce petty crime and repeat offenses. Long term uncertainty. Over 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 policing and lack of human empathy could erode public trust, leading to resistance, unrest, or even new forms of crime. Rehabilitation challenges. AI lacks emotional intelligence and may struggle to support rehabilitation, mental health, or restorative justice programs. Key takeaways from research. AI can enhance efficiency and reduce human error in law enforcement, but it must be carefully regulated to avoid misuse, discrimination, excuse me, and erosion of civil liberties. Experts recommend hybrid models. AI assists, both humans remain in control of judgment and accountability. Okay. And then I went ahead and asked, how would AI be able to discriminate against someone? And it gave me a pretty legit answer: bias training data, which is understandable. Whoever's programming, algorithmic design flaws, because it's going to base everything on it learns from the past and stuff. Lack of contextual understanding. Uh, it may misinterpret behaviors or language, especially across different cultures or dialects. Feedback loops-based outcomes reinforce future decisions. Predictive policing tools may over-target certain neighborhoods, leading to more arrests and more data, reinforcing the bias. The ontology bias. AI can shape what humans even think about filtering information. Stanford researchers in 2025 identified this as a new dimension of bias, where AI limits the scope of ideas presented to users. The lack of contextual understanding. AI lacks emotional intelligence. It may misinterpret behaviors and languages. Sorry, I already read that. Algorithmic design flaws. Developers may unintentionally embed bias into how the AI weighs inputs. Example: credit scoring models might penalize zip codes associated with low-income communities. And bias training data. AI learns from historical data, which often reflects existing societal biases. Example: resume screening tools have shown, resume screening tools have shown near zero selection rates for black male names in hiring tests. Okay, and I can understand that. Okay, yes, it's going to base everything off of that. But if we were to change everything up and program it to where it wouldn't be able to discriminate, then I think that would be a plus. Now I know this is kind of a weird video, and the whole reason I went down this is because I was just thinking, I was just like, there's so much corruption in government that we just kind of let it go because everybody looks at it like, okay, we all know it's happening. What can we do to stop it? And it bothers me because it's just like, we have the tools to stop it, but we don't do it because we're not united as a people. Okay? If we were united as a people and brought these things to light and we pushed the issue more, things would definitely change. Now, me going down this rabbit hole with all this, it just blew my mind, especially with this whole AI taking over the law thing. And what got me was where I live, a PDF file could commit a crime and do 6 months to a year, and that's a crime against a child. But then someone who steals not crap, but scrap metal and sells it could do 10 to 20 years. It makes no sense. Okay. And seeing this, it's like, sometimes I wish that, like, we would implement some of these things, because it's like, especially nowadays, you have people out there killing people on a bus, stabbing people in the neck on a bus, and being let out because of the color of their skin. You have other people breaking into homes, stabbing family members, and killing a 6-year-old child by stabbing him in the head, and being the guy being sent to prison and then let out 7 years later for good behavior because of the color of his skin. You have a student being stabbed at a track meet because he told someone that they were sitting in the wrong area, and that person who stabbed him wasn't sent to jail because of the color of his skin. And in my eyes, we need to implement something that doesn't look at the color of the skin. It doesn't look at any way. It's not going to know the difference between white and black. It's going to look at it as both the same. Okay? It's going to look at the crime. It's going to look at the time that needs to be dealt for that crime, and it's going to implement that time. So with that being said, I feel as though we need to find a solution that pulls the whole black, white, Asian, Spanish. We need to find a solution that pulls race out of the equation. We also need to find a solution that pulls, the upbringing of someone out of the equation. And that it's really getting to me because we clearly can implement some of these things, and like I said, it would have to be a oh man, what am I looking for? Not a full AI integration, but like a scenario where it's a hybrid model. But I don't think we're gonna do it, and I really think that we should do it. Okay, there's clearly too many things going on in this world right now that need to be changed, and people, like, accountability isn't a thing anymore. Like, I mean, you have cities burning right now, and the people burning them down are being caught just to be let back out a few hours later. And I really think that, there needs to come a time, and I know there's going to be the people in the chat that are going to say, "Oh, this is fascism, this is authoritarianism, this is this is that," and it's like, no, this is common sense. You know, don't fucking commit a crime. There won't be a problem. I mean, and I'm talking about, like, just in crimes, like crimes alone, or like the whole government. Like, in the beginning, I know I was talking about the government, but it's just like, I look at the UK right now, and the UK is burning. Okay, the UK is failing. I wanted to go take a vacation there, and I literally canceled that idea. I was like, hell no. It is despicable what the UK is doing right now. Like, and it's a shame because, I would have loved to go over there and seen the history and everything. But I won't. I'll never go there until they change it. Okay. They either have to change their ways or they need to give Ireland back Northern Ireland. But it's this bothers me because I every day I read about people committing crimes, heinous crimes at that, and they get a slap on the wrist, and it's just like no, especially when it comes to children. Like a human being can ruin a child's life, and then just be let out within a year, yet that child has to suffer the rest of their life, knowing what happened to them. It's disgusting. So going down this, it's I don't know. Let me give me you guys your thoughts and opinions. I don't know if like maybe I'm just going down here like the rabbit hole, but like just asking AI this and like asking for like a breakdown. The fact that they said that AI could outperform humans in certain administrative and analytical functions of the UK governance within 10 to 15 years. Kind of think that they'd be able to do it faster than that, but it's scary to think 10 to 15 years and you might not have a monarch no more, which might be a good thing. Okay, we don't know. I don't know. This is just something I just kind of dove off the deep end with, and I just wanted to put it out there. And I thought it was interesting asking AI a few of these questions and the way they responded back and the timeline, and it kind of it it really stuck out to me. So, but I hope you guys like the video. If you guys can, please like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, let me know if you guys think AI would be a good idea or if you guys think AI is just a terrible idea. I know a lot of people have seen Terminator. They know what Skynet is. They've seen the movie Eagle Eye. I mean, some of these things are already going on as like what AI is telling us now. It's already going on at the moment, especially in the U.S. as far as like the surveillance and stuff like that. Okay, but like let me know what you guys think about the whole government thing, switching over to AI, and also let me know what you guys think about maybe how you guys would feel if AI went ahead and took over the whole, crime side of it. Like, which I know in countries, once again, before we leave the UK, they put all those laws in about tweets and you can go to jail for that. Like, that'd be a terrible spot to implement AI. Okay, especially when it came to that, because I mean, you shouldn't be arrested for something that you say. I mean, I don't understand how a country like the UK is butthurt over what someone says, and just because someone gets a hurt feeling, you can go ahead and destroy someone's life over it. It's so stupid. But yeah, like I said, if you can, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, maybe turn the notification bell on. Like I said, trying to do this YouTube thing. You guys can help me do it. Like I said, the like button is free, the subscribe button is free, and yeah, I would greatly appreciate it. So I hope you guys like the video, and I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.